Greetings, beloveds. Welcome to Muse and Magic 1111. Thanks for stopping by my channel for yet another deep dive into your tarot journey. This is a general reading for all signs. This is mostly relationship based, but we will get into a little bit of your finances. And we're going to just go ahead and get into it, okay? So, I've already shuffled this particular deck. This is the tea leaf fortune cards here. I've been seeing these on a lot of readers, or a lot of readers have been using these. They're kind of neat little cards. I actually really like them. Okay. Baby, son, I'm recording. I need y'all to be quiet, like ASAP. Okay? Thank you. All right. There is no recording apparently that I'm ever going to do where there's not going to be some interruptions, okay? I started this recording and my niece came through the door and I had to stop. I was like 10 minutes in. So we're going to just, we're going to roll with the punches because life happens. Life is interrupted all the time. You know what I'm saying? We have plans and then boom, something happens. It is what it is. But that's also how I feel about this journey that you've been on relationally, your relationships, even if for some of you, your career and the plans and dreams that you have for yourself and aspirations. It's just, you know, it hasn't been happening very smoothly. Life has been happening, right? There's been, hey, I'm recording. Baby, I'm recording. Don't come out to the door area, please, because I don't want you on camera. That's so funny. Everything's a part of the reading, and somebody hasn't wanted you on camera. Somebody hasn't wanted pictures of you. Somebody has treated you like, you know, a sneaky link, or, you know, like you're the third party, like you're the option. Okay. But we're going to see what the general energies are after I play this song for you and do a bit of a healing. It's been a while since I've done that, and typically, I'm doing this because I recorded a couple of videos last week, and I think it was for Aquarius and who did I record for? Aquarius and maybe a general reading, but both of them were really funky. I recorded them here on my computer, but I was trying to do a side view so that I didn't have to have my face on camera. I was looking just like this, actually. It just very plain face, no makeup, my hair's out. To me, this is wild. To you guys, it might look okay, but you know, I still have issues, y'all. Sometimes with being very natural, or whatever. And that's just the lightweight Hollywood in me, okay? Sometimes that just, you know, I'm working on it. But both of the sound on them, and I didn't know till I recorded, it was like 30-40 minute videos. I just wasn't going to do them over, so I posted them anyway, even though they sounded horribly. And I just wanted you to know that I know they sounded crazy, but for those of you who were willing and wanted to get the message, you took the time. You know, you turned up the volume, you put your ear close, whatever you needed to do, and I'm so sorry for that. Just work with me. I don't have a mic yet, but I need to get one. I'm just old school. I'm just old school. I'm just like over all this extra, you know, shish we have to keep doing to upgrade our stuff. And it's okay. Just bear with me. I'm getting there, okay? I like literally, I was in denial, y'all. I was fighting it. I was real resistant, even to this whole AI shit and this chat GPT, whatever, and all of the stuff. Now, I mean, it's made my life much easier, I must say, but I'm still a little apprehensive. Like I do it in small increments, you know, I spend the time and use it for certain things, but for the most part, it's not overtaking my life. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know some people use chat GPT for everything. But that's just not me. You know, I'm not on social media much except for doing these videos. I'm rarely on there, which is why in the description box you do have my website if you need to get in touch with me or message me for anything. On my website, I am the one who receives the messages. So if you need to leave something for me there, go ahead. It's not like a website where all these other people are checking the messages. It's just me. Okay. And definitely check into the website because there are some upcoming events that I will post. probably actually right after this video, because I do need to add the newest events that I have coming up. I recently hosted a sacred cuddle huddle, which is a type of cuddle party. If you don't know what that is, you can look up cuddleparty.com and just kind of get an overview of what it is, what a cuddle party is. That is not my site and that is not my particular business. But they did kind of put it on the map. I think we've been doing this, people who've naturally been cuddlers and leading workshops and facilitating them for over a decade, like I have. We've been doing events like this, but I'm appreciative of the cuddleparty.com people for actually just putting it on the map and making people aware of what cuddle parties are. Yes, I do consider myself a cuddle connoisseur, but I'm also more so a muse and a spiritual advisor. I can be hired for my services. I do have personal customized retreats that I can take you on and guide you through some, basically what it would really look like was like a healing retreat. And that depends on how long you need it for, 3 to 7 days or however long, depending on what your target is and what you're trying to heal from or trying to address. For some people, it's just a silent retreat because they just need to break away, get away from the daily hustle and bustle and get quiet and be present, because they are not allowed to do that in their waking life with such a busy schedule and with their many roles and positions that they play. So again, just check out the website, which is houseofgoddess.org. But again, that'll be in the description box so that you can remember, and just check out any upcoming events that are coming up. I do have a silent retreat coming up very soon, which is this weekend on Saturday at a local hot springs. And I also have a sacred tantric workshop that's coming up. And I'll leave the information for that. I'm kind of tiptoeing around putting it out there because I'm just such a private person, and these events are important to me, and they're very sacred in a sense that people who come, there are no phones, there's no cameras, there's no picture taking, and there's no discussing who comes to these actual events. And so that's why I'm still a little, about protective about putting the information out there, because it's not just for any and everyone. There is a vetting process, okay? If I know you, I know you, and if I don't, then there's a way that we can connect and that I can see if you are a good fit for these services or for these workshops, okay? So with that being said, we're going to get into it, family. There's a loss here. Like I said, someone has been treating someone as if they're just not that important, or not that, or like they're a sneaky link, someone that they've had to hide. Okay, but there is some loss here that has taken place, either a loss of a relationship. When I see this is actually truly a loss. Like there's a loss, if not just of a relationship, a literal loss, like a transition that has transpired. This could be a family member, someone close, family friend, or whatever. But it's something that is actually important to you. Okay. Yeah, and this is like unsuccessful plans here with knots. Now, this could literally be someone planning to tie the knot, or someone who tied the knot and this just didn't work out, again, with unsuccessful plans. This could also be because there was something that, we make life plans, but none of us know when our time is here or near, and so this could be just an unsuccessful situation because of this loss here, this break, okay, this I don't know why the word disillusion is coming to me, but that means something to someone. And wow. So yes, there's a loss. There's been some loss of a situation. This might be more relational here, because it looks like there was someone who might have been married or been in some type of a connection, some type of a commitment with this knot, or someone who tied the knot. Now those plans didn't quite work out as planned, again with unsuccessful plans here. So now you have the dog and far away. This is someone who has been thinking of you, okay? When I think of dog energy, I think of loyalty. I think of someone long memory. I think of someone, dogs Honestly, I don't know any pets like dogs and cats that don't like to cuddle. Speaking of that energy, right? Who don't like to be pet, who don't like to be adored and admired, and who also don't love and adore and admire their owners or their caretakers. You know what I'm saying? So take that how it resonates. This is the weeping willow, so this is family sorrow. So maybe that loss may have a lot to do with family. This could be the break or the walking away. Again, when someone ties the knot, that's the marriage. When there is a departure or a loss or something that doesn't work out, that's unsuccessful, there is sadness, there is sorrow, there is grief. There is a grieving period. It doesn't matter how crazy, how toxic, how, whatever the relationship was or unfulfilling, there is still a sense of grief and sorrow when there's a break, because coming together in this way, even in just a basic relationship, is still the tying of souls. You're making love, that's connecting souls. Okay, so when there's a break or a departure or some type of a loss in this, there is grieving. Your angels are here though. Okay, you have spiritual guides who are protecting you from harm, protecting you from, yeah, because sometimes what happens with this, there's curses that are placed upon a situation. I don't know why I'm saying this, just spirit is just giving this to me. This looks like a woman, a dark-haired woman here could be, but what I'm saying, this is your guardian angel. I'm saying this is someone that is here for you, protecting you, looking over you, paving the way for you. However, what can happen in situations that people don't have to be wizards or witches in order to cast spells. People cast spells all the time without knowing it, right? You remember the color purple, right? And she was like, until you do right by me, right? That's casting a spell. It wasn't that she was doing it knowingly. No one said she was a witch or a wizard or anything like that. Not that witches and wizards cast evil spells. That's also a misconception, except for the fact that there is light and dark in all things that we do. Okay? There are good and evil even in the church. You know what I'm saying? Good people, bad people. What we deem good or bad. I don't really like using those terms. And evil people, even in the church. Go to church every day, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Serving on the board. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that there's protection here, because oftentimes when there's a break or a loss or a breakup or something and it doesn't end well, there could be words spewed. There could be this really funky, ugly energy like we're enemies. We got to be enemies now or whatever. And I just feel like you're very protected from anything that is being said or done that is trying to cause disloyalty or trying to cause some type of a fall or some type of a separation from family or some change and loss in a family. Because remember, this is family, sorrow in a family. There's a break. Oh God, y'all know I'm real OCD. I'm looking at my nails. Okay, so so basically there's kids involved sometimes. There's families that have come together and made friends and gained sisters and brother-in-laws and whatnot. And so when there's a break that changes the family, it's sorrowful for the whole family. Okay, just take this how it resonates. This is just, like I said, what's coming up for me at this time. And then there's a secret admirer here somewhere. Okay, there's Apple. Temptation will test you. So someone might be being tested here again sometimes when they're, and this is right under this unsuccessful plan. So it's like, something didn't work out, but temptation could possibly be testing you to try and go back to what's familiar, to stay longer than the expiration date, to not do anything to make a change, although these things are happening and inevitable, but still kind of wallowing in this back and forth kind of energy, this hanged man energy, even though I don't have the tarot deck out right now. Okay, now this may have been something that took place back in November, but this also could be that a distant friend is thinking of you. This is right beneath that. So this could also be about a connection that may take place sometime in November of this year. I feel like, though, this is past tense energy. Something transpired last November. Maybe that's when this loss happened, this break happened, this, I don't know, something around that, just Or maybe back in November while all this was happening, there was this temptation, that I just spoke of, like of possibly wanting to stay or go back or just call it all off. You know what I mean? This loss. Um, yeah. But here we have peace and harmony with the wind chimes. There is peace underway, and even through this sorrowful time, I feel like someone is feeling a great sense of peace. Okay. Um, someone is someone is leaving your life. This chair is now empty. And interestingly, this is right beneath your angel chair. So even though this chair is now empty, there's maybe an office that could be filled now. Just just listen. um, there's a space, an office, or a position that could be filled now. But this is also your angel guides coming in to assist with this, protecting you from hiring the wrong people. Take it how it resonates. I'm not literally speaking of jobs, okay? I'm speaking of relationally, okay? So let's get into what's going on with this relationship. I kind of want to know, what are we talking about here? What relationship are we talking about here? Spirit, give us perfect word, perfect clarity and thought. Guide us on this journey. Help us to navigate through the changes of our lives, through the current themes and vibrations of our lives. Yeah, someone just didn't want to do the work to heal through these familial situations, through this relationship. Okay. There was an issue of control. Someone was a little too controlling in this situation. It just couldn't allow things to just be, or allow this. Yeah. There will be, it looks like there's no reconciliation here. There might have been a thought, again, with this pondering back and forth, because that came up a little bit earlier, but it looks like there's no room for reconciliation. This wasn't really a true love relationship. What might have felt like love was more, I don't know why I brought up Hollywood before. I was talking about appearances of my own self, even just, dealing with being sometimes a little too natural, right? No makeup, hair's not, I don't fry, dye, and lay my hair to the side anyway, so not fry, dye, lay to the side. And I don't wear a lot of weaves and extra things like that, but I still like my hair to be very neat, very pulled together, okay? Which I oftentimes have an issue with me wearing it curly sometimes, because curly means that it might start out looking curly and really nice and defined in the morning, and then by the afternoon it's doing something totally different. Like, my hair is kind of real interesting. It has its own personality. So that's why, sometimes it's an issue for me, because I'm like, okay, by noon or by 4 o'clock this evening, it's going to be looking real crazy, So sometimes I have issues with that. Things changing. Listen to what I'm saying, the verbiage. Things changing within a few hours, changing, or getting crazy over a period of time throughout the day, okay? So again, this is something that wasn't a true love situation. More than likely, it was more or less about appearances, about Hollywood, about what looks good on paper, what looked good financially, what looked good to the onlookers, because it looks like, hey, I'm married. Hey, I'm with someone. Hey, I got my shit together. Hey, we have this, we have that, we have like, I'm getting like housewood. Lord have mercy. Housewood too. But I'm getting housewives energy. Like someone wanting to live and appear like they have the life of, housewives of whoever. Okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? But not really. I don't know why this keeps giving me like a bit of narcissist, because this control, like someone just doing this to control the optics, control the outcome, control you even, okay? Anyhow, so yeah, it's almost like you really just, someone wasn't really about getting to know one another. I think this is something that happened fairly quickly. And it happened really quickly, and it wasn't a real spiritual connection here. There was no spiritual connection. What was this about? You know, this was just like, it was blissful at the very beginning, and maybe, you know, in the beginning of a relationship, you're together all the time, you're taking these vacations, you're doing all these things, and I'm saying this because it's the honeymoon card, so this is about taking, you know, holiday time together. But when it's built upon all of this, go, 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 we're doing things, we're shaking and moving, right? That's still very superficial energy, okay? Yeah, so this might have been built on passion. What was lust? More than, it was like a lustful passion, I guess is what I'm getting at here. You know what I'm saying? And then, which seemed like there was a strong attraction and there was chemistry, right? So there was passion, there was chemistry, but this was built on desire and lust and really on deficit. Like, I almost feel like both parties, you and this person, was in deficit of something. We're seeking something, was needing something, almost like there was trauma bonding here. Listen, Spirit is just guiding me, because this is nothing about trauma bonding on these cards, except for what it's showing me as a whole. And that trauma bond, boy, it's wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's trauma bonded in there, and then this is kind of like this energy of unrequited love. You know what I mean? Someone really fell for someone maybe, but the other person really didn't. But now we're deep in it, right? Now we're deep in it, and the optics are great. You know, on paper, everything looks great. Let's do this. You know? Wow. Yeah, because this is saying, hey, someone needed to learn how to love themselves first. And I think this is both people needed to really just love themselves, learn how to love themselves first. And this didn't happen. With trauma bonding, what happens is you don't get to focus on yourself. You're so focused on the trauma or the thing that you're going through all at the same time. I know all about it, honey. I do. Okay. And bottom of the deck is children. So there's probably children involved in this situation. Children and childishness. Okay. Let's see what changes are underway here. Sobriety. So someone's getting straight. You know, someone is realizing that, hey, I got to put this, whatever it is you were doing or using as a vice to pretty much block things out and not cope with certain things, you're putting that away, whether it's the alcohol, whether it's smoking, vaping, you know, whether it's, I don't know, I feel like sex, like sexing people, just random people, just, why is that coming up? But take it how it resonates. And this wishy-washiness, like being indecisive, not knowing which way to go, which way to choose as far as your mind. You're coming up out of that. You know, this is the end of an era. Yeah. Yeah. You're coming up out of that. You know, you're gaining clarity here. You know, you haven't been being true to yourself. And so now, because this is the end of an era, this is the time you're starting to turn. This is in reverse. That's how I know you haven't been being true to yourself, but you're trying to do this. You're trying to get back to being you, the things that make you who you are. That's what I'm saying. Just the thought. It's like you just, I got to get back to being me. I just hear someone saying, I got to get back to being me. I got to get back to doing me. Like, this is not me. You know, I haven't been myself or been able to be myself in a long time. Yeah, yeah. And so this is just growing in wisdom. It says gracefully aging, but this is really about growing in wisdom. Okay? Yeah. And doing something new. This could be setting off to do something new in career, even though I feel like that's been a very stagnant thing. Like you've been you know, straddling the fence because it's not familiar, because you can't see the future in it, because you can't count your coins before, you know, it's like you can't, what is it called? I don't know, something like about the hens before the rooster or something, but you can't really count your coins when you don't know if this new era, this new career, this new direction is going to pay you as well, if you, or keep you being able to pay the bills consistently. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the blockage there, just not knowing if you're going to be supported enough or be able to support family, yourself and family enough when you're going into something new. You kind of are still in the same career or choice or, you know, cycle of work that you're in because it's been consistent enough to know to make you feel secure. Okay? So again, take it how it resonates. Yeah, and this is family changes here. Family changes. Okay. What are the, well, I guess I'm gonna go a little bit into this as far as your money matters, although uh I feel like this was just really supposed to stay on the relationship, but we'll just take a couple of cards and see what's happening in your finances, because maybe that's a part of this career situation, you know, the hesitancy or the stagnancy. It's coming inevitably, but it's almost like I just feel like I see a fence and there's just one foot on each side of it. You know what I mean? Someone's on the fence about this change. Yeah, blessings. So fortune is coming to you regardless, and this is unexpected. Okay. Fortune is coming to you. It's unexpected. I see. I feel like it's windfall. I feel like this is a great time for you to like. This is a great time right now for you to just do what you want. I almost want to say do what you like, right? um, this is the time. It's like you've come out of something that you've had to grieve. You're coming out of something where there's been great loss, and so now with what you have, you just need to do whatever. Just do what you like. Do what you know makes you happy. Do what you know you can do for yourself in the form of self-care, taking care of yourself, whether it's traveling, whether it's, literally going to a spa or just getting what you need. It's like that allows you to get the soul to just operate in restoration. You know what I mean? To feel restored. And for some reason, I feel that for you. Like you just need restoration. You need renewal. Um, you need rejuvenation and grounding. Okay? Yeah, composure. This is you keeping your composure and heart under the circumstances. Just staying peaceful. Remember I said that even though there's this loss of either relationship or career or a literal loss of a person, there's still strangely a sense of peace from all of this, right? And the reward is that, your hard work is paying off. Your hard work is paying off, you know. Um, your performance is gaining attention, and I think you're doing a better job now than you've ever done in your career. Whatever you're doing now, it's almost like I see you whistling while you work. Whistle while you work. Do, 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 do. I mean, it's like you're happy or at least peaceful now, where you are. We have maturation right here. So, I think you're even being more mindful of your spending, of your investments, and what you're doing with your money, who you're spending it on, not just what, but who you're spending it on and how you're spending it. You're becoming more responsible, and nothing happens overnight. Okay, you may still spend a little, sporadically or, on things that may not seem like they need to be priority at this time, but you still feel good about it because it's yours and because you're at peace, because the rest of your life is aligning, even though you have suffered great loss. Yeah, there are choices here and opportunities waiting for you So this is not a time to doubt yourself. Be secure in who you are. Be secure in your choices. And just know that things are changing for the better. Okay? And last but not least, we're going to go over anything that you need to say to your person. Whoever you're thinking about. It could be the person in this reading because we're talking about someone that has been walked away from. Or it could be the person that you're concentrating on, because it did say that you had an admirer. So your admirer. What is it that you'd like to say to your admirer? We still have things to resolve and discuss, and I don't want to run anywhere anymore. I want to tell you the truth. So there's someone here that you feel like you have unfinished business with. You've been running from. You don't want to run anymore, and you want to tell them the truth. Okay? This is someone that you didn't appreciate. Maybe it's someone that you didn't appreciate or who didn't appreciate you. I don't know, but take it how it resonates. And this is the message to you from your person. And you also, this just popped out, you know, with like in their absence, that you feel like, it's almost like you feel like a part of you is missing without your person. Could be vice versa, but I feel like this is all from you. Now, these are the messages from your person to you, your admirer to you. I feel pain. I feel pain from the damage that was caused. Okay. Although I see your side of the story. This person is very compassionate and still holds space for you. This person is still has done a lot of work to heal from the situation, but is still, but there is still some healing underway. This may not be healing. You know, people think that healing, you know, you do some work, you go to church, you read your Bible, you go to therapy, you whatever. This is a journey. It's not a destination. So healing and learning the art of self-love is a journey. It's not something that is built overnight, or you have a couple of sessions with a psychiatrist or a life coach, and all of a sudden you're healed and I'm together. Like, this is still, it's a process. And so someone is still healing through life's lifings. You know what I'm saying? And reflection. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. And I think that's typical of people. You know, sometimes over a loss or a breakup, we tend to think, oh my God, it's the hardest thing ever. Not realizing that further down the line, you're going to have so much clarity in life just from the experience, let alone knowing what transpired and navigating through it. You know what I'm saying? And bottom of the deck is overwhelmed. Okay, someone may have been stressed from this connection having drained them, but again, that has caused a lot of reflection. That has caused a lot of healing. Okay, and a restoration of self-love. So there are no accidents or happenstances in life. When things don't work out and they're unsuccessful for a reason, because I always like to say God sees farther. And I use that interchangeably with universe. Universe sees farther. Okay, so what we may not be able to see, what we may not understand, God, universe understands. Right? As they say, rejection is protection, but sometimes rejection is just redirection. Okay? And lastly, let's see, last message here. Soul tie. So sweet. I always feel connected to you. Yep. And that's your message, beloved. Until next time, and all you're getting, get inner standing. Remember that love is the highest vibration of all. Love brings change. Love heals all wounds. And until next time, know that you are loved. You are loved. You are loved. I say that truly from my soul. I don't have to know your name. I don't have to know your address. I don't have to know any of that. I don't have to know what you do to love you unconditionally. I am just full of love and I love people. I love humanity. I believe in humanity. I believe we are finding our way back home to one another. I believe we are waking up as a collective. Okay? And I believe in the good that exists in each and every one of us, even though we may have some crazy moments, some not so good moments, some embarrassing moments, some moments that don't display the best version of ourselves, but we are still love. We are still creatures of the light. And I see you. Okay? Wholeness.